पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्ति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear worshipful devotees, for taking out your most valuable time to read and study this book. We are talking about the section food and eating habits. So the last two sessions were also directly and indirectly linked to it: the kitchen, the ingredients, the how to offer, then the honoring prasadam. It's all that we discussed. Um, Now we'll continue our discussion on this food and eating habits. So if you haven't got a chance to read, please raise your hand so you can read today. Anyone would like to? Yes, Polly, Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Please.
The Vedic food and eating habits. The Vedic literature states Ahara Sadhuva Sattva Suddhin. If one's food is pure, one's whole existence is pure. Traditionally, the followers of Vedic culture were strict about what they ate. The reason is that the consciousness of the cook enters the food. Devotees who eat food cooked by persons of unclean habits and impure consciousness become contaminated by the mentality of the cook and share in their sinful karmic reactions. As Lord Chaitanya said, when one eats food cooked by a materialistic person, one's mind becomes contaminated. When the mind becomes contaminated, one is unable to think of Krishna properly. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 6.278. Therefore, devotees practice taking only Krishna Prasad.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Anyone has any comments so far on these two paragraphs? So we discuss how the consciousness of the cook transferred in the food. So we should be strict, right? Like, will we allow any person to enter the doors of our home? Will we allow? No. Everyone agrees. And these days people have cameras, right? So they see if it's good or if it's productive. We won't allow any strange like thief or murderer, plunderer to enter. Similarly, Mouth is an important gate of our body, right? Why should we allow something to enter that gate which will plunder our consciousness? Is it not? Same with the eyes. Why should we allow something enter our eyes or ears or nose, etc.? All these gates, which is going to pollute our consciousness, right? So these are important gates of our body. So what is that famous this verse which is comes in the Chandogya Upanishad? Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhau Smriti Dhruva. Smriti Labdhe Sarva Granthi Nam Vipra Mokshaha. Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. From purity of food or ahara comes purity of mind. One established in Sattva Guna or Shuddha Sattva. Sattva Shuddhi Smriti Dhruva. From purity of mind from comes what? Smriti or remembrance. Fixed remembrance. Dhruva Smriti. Smriti Labde Sarva Granthi Nam. And from constant remembrance of Krishna, one becomes free from bondage. Vipra Moksha Sarva Granthi Nam. All these granthi, these knots, right, are binding us, right? So food is very important. Ahar Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi, Dhruva Smriti. Smriti Labdhe Sarva Granthi Na Vipra Vimokshaha. One gets a topmost elevation just by taking Krishna Prasad. So one should certainly take only Prasad and let's read the next part. Anyone else wants to read who hasn't got chance this week? The next page. Yes, Avni, Shital Mataji, anyone? Ravi Prabhu, you like to read? Or who else?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ravi.
Hare Krishna, everybody, Dhanu Pranam, all to Srila Prabhupada. Prasad is not only karma free but also purifying. This is because it is cooked and offered to Krishna with love by devotees following the principles of Krishna consciousness. Strictness in eating is required for rapid advancement in Krishna consciousness. The best thing is to arrange life so as to eat only Krishna Prasad. However, this is not always possible for all devotees. A busy working single person or someone who travels a lot may sometimes have to purchase food to eat. If buying food outside, it is best to buy fruit, milk products. Milk, yogurt, milk sweets, cheese, etc. are also considered pure even if it prepared by non-devotees. For devotees, eating in Kormi restaurants is not good. In unusual circumstances, if you feel constrained to do so, you should select a clean vegetarian restaurant. Check that the preparations are free of onions and garlic. Never eat even vegetarian food in a restaurant that also serves meat. Currently, there is widespread propaganda in India that eggs are vegetarian food. From the biological standpoint, fertilized eggs are embryos, liquid flesh. Unfertilized eggs are the menstruation of chickens. Shastra clearly declares eggs to be non-vegetarian food. Any propaganda to the contrary is simply bogus. Never mind what ill-motivated scientists, politicians, and egg sellers would have us believe.
Anibal.
Thank you.
Prabhuji. So I think this question comes up multiple times about eating outside, right? So this book clearly mentioned that if someone is single or due to a lot of travel and job, family, whatever situations, So see what is best doable. I think there are options now. There are like 50 years back, there were not like Iskcon temples everywhere. But now every major city has a temple or devotees, a center, some devotees. So contacts, can be fine. We can find contacts. Then Suprasadam is doable. In India, what to speak of homes, even in trains now they started serving prasadam. So major trains, major stations like Delhi, Kolkata, etc. So in India, it's spreading much faster, which is good. So in short, if you go to any major city, you'll find a temple, you'll find devotees, or many devotees have like restaurants or govindas or some kind of way. Or these days, Airbnb is an option also if someone is traveling for a few days or few weeks. If it's a 1 or 2 day trip, one can pack, make at home and pack and stuff like that. If it's few days, then if one has to buy outside, I think it's mentioned milk, cheese, sweets, milk, sweets also. Raw things, fruits, salads, juices are always better than buying like, roti from outside. Yeah, not very healthy option. Or even goes to restaurant. These are like we're going layer by layer down. And we're not promoting going to restaurants, but if one has to, then go to vegetarian restaurant. There are some only vegetarian restaurants or vegan. No, there are some plant-based restaurants. Certainly better than others. Um, and there is question about eggs also. So very very clearly mentioned. It's basically not healthy. They Maharaj has written this book at least 20, 30 years back. And recently someone asked this question, oh, they're saying like eggs are vegetarian. See, Maharaj wrote it like there is widespread propaganda. Um, what is? Hmm, yeah, in India that eggs are vegetarian food. Not only in India and everywhere. So these days, if you call yourself vegetarian, they will consider you'll eat egg. So you have to be very precise because everyone defines vegetarianism a little bit differently. So it's unfortunate, but it is the fact. Hmm. Um, so eggs are not good either. They are the menstrual fluid of the chickens, the unfertilized one, and the fertilized ones basically contains the jiva, the embryo, right? So why should we consume those things? Any thoughts, comments? Okay, we'll move on to the further reading. Anyone wants to read from this point?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am reading for
Yes.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. By the law of karma, grains cooked by non-devotees are especially contaminated by karmic reactions. Occasionally taking puffed rice, popcorn, it is extra cooked by non-devotees, though not very good, is not very harmful either. But karmi bread and biscuits should be completely avoided, as they have a heavy karmic influence. Onions and garlic are strictly forbidden for devotees. They are not offerable to Krishna. Like meat, they adversely affect the consciousness with the lowest mode of nature, tamoguna, the mode of ignorance. You should even give up mild intoxicants like tea, coffee, and chocolate because they are unhealthy, unclean, unnecessary, habit forming, and unofferable to Krishna. Also, be careful about non-vegetarian ingredients in food cooked by non-devotees. Bread, biscuit, ice cream, canned foods, and in the Western countries, cheese and yogurt often contain egg derivatives, rennet made from the lining of cows' stomachs, or gelatin extracted from the animal bones. Sometimes the list of ingredients on the package may include shortening, lectin, or some mysterious chemical. These may or may not be vegetarian. In such a case, better to be safe than sorry. Do not buy it. On the whole, somehow or the other, sticking to the principle of taking only Krishna Prasad is the best. Today, people are often too lazy to cook, but even for physical health, home cooked food is the best. And what to speak of spiritual health? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So I think we have already covered most of these points because some questions were asked about the bread, cookies, etc. The, the book is very clear. The Shastras are very clear. Again, devotees are at different levels, so the goal is to reduce and eventually stop. That should be the goal. Not just for spiritual health, but even for our own material health also. Because as we discussed, there's so many chemicals that like you make one roti at home, or make a cookie at home. How many days it will last? 1, 2, 3, right? No more than that. Even if it will start getting microorganisms, fungus, mold, etc., right? Within a few days. Now the same cookie or similar cookie is on the shelf. How many days it lasts? Anyone knows? How many days is the shelf life? I have not seen for those cookies they make.
Means Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then with pranam. So Prabhuji, outsider means outsider cookies you are talking about?
Like biscuits or cookie outside these Oreo or I don't know what.
Yeah, Prabhuji, they
6 months,
are
1
long
year,
lasting, long lasting.
at least 6 months, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe 1 year also.
more.
More, okay. So now think about logically also, like I'm sure they have put a lot of chemicals to preserve, or I'm not sure if the preserve is the right word, but to make it not smell bad or whatever. So the more we get away from the roots, the more we get away from the original, the more we are like getting into problems. So everyone knows that, or at least, but the point Maharaj is making that people are lazy, right? We all want shortcuts. So shortcuts, 2-minute meal, right? And they say 2-minute meal, like everything is pre-made, you just put in the oven for 5 minutes and done. This is
Instant.
instant food, what do they call?
Yes.
Drive-through food, right? Drive-through. Or so much, because Shyamananda Prabhu mentioned that it's not only, he wrote a nice article on that. It's not only spiritually unhealthy, it's not only bodily unhealthy, but it is weakening the social fabric of family lives, values. Mm. Because when the mother cooks or the wife cooks and puts their energy, puts their effort, puts their emotion, puts their hard work, right? and the family comes, sits, and eats together. It's a social fabric, you know. It leads to social connection, that feeling of, you know, respecting the each other's sacrifices, the culture of interdependence, that we are dependent. But these days, no, everyone can work, everyone can earn money, everyone can cook, buy that instant food, put in the microwave, and done. So the further we go from Vedic culture, the more problems we invite in our lives. That's a fact. Anyways, one should be cautious. One should, as far as possible, stay close to nature and natural ingredients, less processed things, mm, mm, and simple. Offer to Krishna, not use these meat, fish, eggs, onion, garlic, tamaguna materials. Avoid outside. Be careful of the ingredients. And it's not only spiritually healthy, but financially, emotionally, the social life, family, everything will stay healthy. Any thoughts about food? Food, action, reaction, karma, shad, bhoga, cooking, not cooking, outside, inside. Yes.
Hey Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, those are very important points, Prabhuji. And I'm in the Cancer Institute and seeing every day so much patients, and they are diagnosed with different cancers, and cancer center is actually flourishing. When I started in the cancer center, that time there was 3,000 plus employees, and now it's three times more. That means 9,000 plus employees. So the cancer center is flourishing because the patients are more. And the study of one of our researcher, he showed that I think I mentioned to you before that high fat diet and all the Western fat fed to the mice experiment, and their tumor grows bigger and bigger. Whereas when they put normal diets with very low fat, and their the tumor actually did not form that big. So that's why always, like in our institute, that they're saying that always eat fresh and eat healthy. Do not eat those food, and even more like processed ones. And even more scary thing is that the vegetables what we are taking, buying from the market, especially the big some of the markets like public, that's it, I'm not taking any names, but yes, they are actually spraying preservative to keep the vegetables even more fresh. So it is very very scary where we the in the society where we are living. So it's always risk of getting bad diseases. So that is the fact, Prabhuji. Even the vegetables also not. If someone uh, grow vegetables in their gardens, that's different. These are truly organic. But even the organic vegetables are also not purely organic. They also have adulteration. So just to add, Prabhuji, so scary.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing those, Mataji. It's very unfortunate, but it is the world we are living in. Therefore, as the Kali Yuga is progressing, you know, there will be wars on water, war on food, and more and more bigger companies are controlling these. I think recently I was hearing a class, they're controlling like His Sham Prabhu was mentioning in one of the classes, like you eat a mango, throw the mango seed in the natural, then a tree will come, right? That's how the natural process is. Naturally, or maybe not all seeds, but at least out of 10, 5 will grow into a tree. Mm. But these days, what they're doing, that they're selling farmers the seeds which will only grow once. The next time They have to buy seeds from this company. So it's very scary picture going on. And corporations have one motive: money. They don't care about quality. They don't care about health. They don't care about, like Coca-Cola. Like there's a whole documentary about Coca-Cola. All these drinks, Coca-Cola or anything, like all these drinks are very, very unhealthy. But there are countries where people drink more Coca-Cola than water. There are places, you know, I spent 3.5 years in Goa. They said, oh, the beer is cheaper than the water. And it was true, right? So it's unfortunate the world we are living in. People are so addicted to this the morning coffee, as if it's like the air they breathe. Can't live without the morning coffee. Right? So many people live without morning coffee and they do fine. It's not that their life is the laziest. Iskcon devotees they're up, the brahmacharis are up, dancing at 4:30, 5 p.m. So it's all about, how we train the mind. If we train the mind, no, I need that to get my day started, then well, we are actually becoming addicted, as mentioned here. Because there are chemicals, there are nicotine and whatnot, and therefore it's a slow poison. It's addicting, right? So one should be very careful. Food is very, very critical, and it's something we do every day, whether we want it or don't. But we are every day consuming food, water, right? So we should be very careful for our own good, right? For our own good, we should be very careful in what we are eating, why we are eating, how much we are eating, from where is it procured, what are the ingredients, who made that, is it offered, is it pure in ingredients? All those questions we should ask and do our best. And always try to increase the bar, right? Not lower the bar. Always try to increase the bar. Everyone may have some areas for improvement, but do something better, right? This book is entitled Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness, but I can assure you, if someone just follows these old principles, that person is no ordinary person, right? Any thoughts? Any more thoughts there? Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about from the Vaishnava etiquette book. Some things which we didn't cover yesterday. So we'll wrap up the topic of prasad. So I think we covered till here last time. So we can read from this portion. Anyone would like to read? Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranama Guru Srila Prabhupada, everyone. The proper order of serving the various preparations is water should be served first. When Gauriya Vaishnavas serve prasadam, they begin the main meal with bitter foods such as shukta and spinach. This is followed by dal and savories such as pakuras and fried potatoes. Then come other vegetable preparation sabjis, progressing from lighter sabjis to richer sabjis, and from wet to dry. Then richer wet sabjis are served again, followed by raitas and chutneys. Finally, sweets, progressing from less to more sweet. Rice and chapatis should be offered from the very beginning and replenished as required until those honoring the prasadam have finished all sabjis. If possible, chapatis should be served hot. Hare Krishna. So,
Very well. Thank you, Mataji. So all these points were, as mentioned in the retreat we attended last year at Govardhan farm in Govardhan, India. So, and that's how we should place the order also. Order, right? Order while we are arranging the prasadam or serving at a festival as far as possible. Now, if devotees are sitting in queue and then someone or the servers are serving, so Mataji made a nice point that the rice can go first, followed by dal or whatever, chana, whatever the wet curry. The idea is that the person should not be waiting to start their meal. I'm talking more about they're sitting down and servers are serving. Like in India, mostly this happens at larger gatherings. Some servers are serving, like in Bandara. So the person should not be waiting. Like sometimes so there are three sabjis, for example. Sabji one, sabji two, dal three, or whatever. The person got all that. Achar bhi mil gaya, dal bhi mil gaya, sabji bhi mil gaya, sab kuch mil gaya. 10 minutes pass, but there's no rice or roti in his plate. So he's just watching and waiting, right? So that's not good that you are sharing. So start with rice or roti, whatever, the main grain. Immediately next person, so they go together, right? They go in that flow. So immediately the next person puts the wet curry. Now some people are very particular. Hey, don't put over dal or don't put over rice. But some people like to be put their chana or rajma, whatever the gravy is, over. They'll make a like a kunda. They'll make a first a mountain, and they'll make a kunda. I say, okay, mountain of rice, and they'll make a small like katori. Okay, they'll say, in this now you put the dal. So everyone is very creative, and some people take it very seriously. Hey, like one time, one devotee kind of like chastised my wife. How dare you put my dal over my rice? Like, and she got a little, like kind of upset or like shocked, you can say, like, and then a little offended, like maybe I did a big offense to her by putting the dal on, because people's emotions are at a different level. Iskcon is a worldwide movement, so we can ask, especially if we don't know, we can ask that you want the dal over or on the side. We can ask quickly. Some people will give a signal, or they'll tell over, okay, right? So be careful, in short, be sensitive. We don't want to offend anyone, but sometimes people feel offended. Try to avoid that as far as possible. So all these trainings, these tips will help us. Again, less sweet in Gaudiya Vaishnava culture served in the end, but in some cultures it's served in the beginning. So follow the local customs. Like if you go to Gujarat, they serve first, which is fun. So there's no hard and fast rule, but as I said, the person should be able to start their meal. And don't serve too much and not too little. You see there, like if someone is 70-year-old and someone is 5-year-old or someone is 25-year-old, you can understand from their um, or ask them, like you put one, you put two. Sometimes they'll nod their head, they'll say with their hands, or they'll speak up. So look for those cues also. Like, do they want more? Or sometimes they'll say, okay, bus. So look for those cues based on their situation. When you're not sure, ask. When not sure, it's always better to ask and not overdo or underdo either. Because always second servings are doable, but we don't want the food to go waste either. So it can be replenished. Servings may be small, but when I think it's the next point here, very important. Servings may be small, but when the devotees finish an item, one should be alert to replenish the preparation. Now, this is more for, again, Bhandara style, yeah, where there are servers. One should be generous in giving to the devotees as much of an item as they desire. As they desire, I mean, the devotee desires. Now, see the practical situation also. If someone is wanting, like, everyone is wants 10 gulab jamun, right? Then it will disturb the count, right? So one be mindful, like one should not be miserly and hold anything back because one wants to take it later. So it's not the server should be generous, but at the same time they have to work as per the guidance of the seniors, right? If the seniors have told, okay, serve one gulab jamun, and in some cases, if they really ask for, you can give the second, right? But if they start giving, no, 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 let's be generous. I'll give 3 gulab jamuns to everyone, and we have 100 people. Let's say we made 350 gulab jamuns. Keep for 300 people. We made 350 gulab jamuns, some extra. Now let's say about 300 people showed up, or even 250 people showed up. But if the server starts giving 3 each, then it'll be done in the first 100 or 120. It'll be done. So generous does not mean we are mindful, like. But if someone is very, very persistent, so have a few extras so we can give. Prasadam is meant for distribution. Devotee should never be left with an empty plate at the end of the meal. The server or the host may describe the wonderful qualities of an item as it is offered, except where necessary for preaching, one should maintain silence. Hearing a lecture or a cassette at the time is also beneficial. Some devotees can read Krishna book or Prabhupada Leela. Did anyone or did everyone catch this? Who is going to elaborate this point? The wonderful qualities may describe. Would anyone like to elaborate some thoughts on that?
So, Harishna Prabhuji, I can try that. Sometimes some preparations are very. Krishna was very fond of. Mata Jashoda wanted to. Radhani cooked for Krishna. So those pastimes can be narrated during the serving.
Very nice. Yeah, the wonderful qualities of an item can be described, may be described. Especially, some people are sometimes coming first time. They may not even like some Western people, they may not be familiar with what is this paratha, or what is this samosa, or what is this gulab jamun. Looks like a donut dipped in sugar syrup, right? That's like a round. So one can describe them. What are the ingredients, right? What are like simply wonderful, right? So what are the ingredients? And if there is a pastime, as Baldev Prabhu was mentioning, connected to, oh, Prabhupada, how the Simply Wonderful story started, how Prabhupada used gulab jamuns as called as like Iskcon bullets and things like that, and called Simply Wonderful. So it helps us to be more aware of the glories of the prasadam. And if there are pastimes like how Prabhupada liked kachori, Prabhupada's nickname was, I think, connected to kachori because he would love kachoris and puris, right? And things like that. Someone has made shak, someone has made, oh, is mango lassi. Mango is very dear to Lord Nrsingadev, and this is summer time, so it's the best time for mango lassi, and it's a nice beverage for summer people in India, especially those who are not aware of it, right? Like if you tell a Western person this is mango lassi, like what does it mean? Like mango lassi? Mango I've heard, but lassi? What does lassi mean? So we can elaborate, and we can also tell the ingredients so they feel comfortable. Sometimes they'll say, oh, no, I follow vegan diet. So we should respect that. They don't drink milk, that's fine. We will tell them that it does contain milk, but it does not contain any other tamoguna ingredients, and let them decide, right? Even some devotees don't take milk due to their health, their digestion, their lactose, and so many things. Therefore, it's important to tell. Some people may be allergic to nuts, so we should tell. As we are like expanding, we should be aware. We should be aware that this thing has nuts because or this thing, um, and communicate that. And also in a spiritual way, tell some pastimes. Read Krishna book, read Prabhupada Leela Amrit, not talk here and there. Um, lectures, cassette is are gone these days, so CDs or whatever, like the YouTube is like more prominently used everywhere. Everyone in a group should be offered the same items. Oh my God, this becomes a real issue sometimes. Oh, in that row you gave gulab jamun and kheer. I got only papad. What is this going on? You are partial and this and that. People, Iskcon is very big, so sometimes people may see what you're putting in others' plate than what is being put in my plate. Why you gave him two? Why you gave me one? And so much. As far as possible, we should not intentionally do that, but sometimes due to time, place, circumstances, we have to do that, right? It's Krishna is impartially partial, and so is like if some very, very important guest comes. I mean, of course, he will get special treatment. That is fine. And that's how things are. Like if let's say the governor of the city comes, uh, then will we not give him special treatment? We will give, because we have to respect the authorities. We have to respect their position. If the president comes, the prime minister comes, will he say, okay, you sit and wait for 10 minutes and then someone will come to give you prasad and some rice and dal, right? No, it's not. So, so we have to respect those situations, but at the same time, as far as possible, we should distribute the same things and um, same items. A group of persons should be together. No one should be offered anything that is not offered to anyone else. So in most groups, we do try to follow that, but sometimes, you know, and devotee should be mature. Let's say some Maha offerings, like let's say devotees offered 56 bhoga preparations to Jagannath or to Gaurnitai, and now Krishna is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He can eat 56 preparations, but we cannot even taste that, and we should not even be worrying about that. Oh, I didn't get all the 56 preparations. Oh, come on. We should be mature and say, okay, we got something, even a morsel of those 56, even either of those, even one particle, I am very happy and grateful. I don't even deserve that. Hmm. Not thinking, oh, why they didn't distribute the rasamalai to me, why they only gave it to some people. Maybe he's partial about, maybe she's partial, maybe she gave only to her friends. And then the conditioned mind will think so much and may cause unnecessary offenses. Mm. Devotee who is serving prasad should not make any distinction. We covered that. If possible, should eat separately. Yeah. So special needs, like if you go in big yatras, there are special queue for non-spicy. If you go to Kartik Yatra, there is a special queue, non-spicy prasad. It's fine, or someone is sick, or someone is like other spice prasad is also not that spicy, but we should not cook spicy food. That is clear. But this row is specially like very, very simple, like no zero chili, zero, you know, extra kind of flavorings and stuff, like more plain. So now, now if there are devotees like elders, etc., we should have some arrangement, knowing that they will not be able to sit on the ground. We should have some chairs, some tables for the event, because there are always some due to their health or age or right, depends on the size of the program. So The prasadam may be served from serving buckets. I mean, the bucket should not be dragged. Yeah, this is not making noises and all is not good. After everyone has finished, the place must be clean immediately. And also devotees can collect remnants fallen from the plate and put in the dustbin. So that means fallen on the ground. Any questions here while distributing prasad? One should clean that area because that area becomes dirty. So if we use mats, if we use sheets, etc., and devotees have sit, we should try to, clean them and wash them. Otherwise, it's dirty, right? It is dirty. Some knowingly, unknowingly, some prasad morsels are fall. So we should wash them, put in the sun for cleansing. Yeah, it's important. If there are tiles or carpet, see what's best doable, but some sort of cleaning is required. Any other thoughts anyone has? There are some more uh, things about honoring prasad. I don't want to kind of drag this topic beyond today. It's been like 3 sessions, but if anyone likes and feels inspired, you can go through this section also. Avoided sandhyas, right?
Prabhuji,
Rules.
can you share PDF? Hare Krishna.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
Use the
Kindly
right hand. So food quantity, atyahara, you should avoid that. Decreases lifespan. Now this has been very scientifically proven that how there are less problems in eating less, more problems in eating more. So eating less increases span. Fasting naturally helps. So these days, many people are switching to once a day meal or twice a day meal. Yeah, and see for oneself, but don't artificially see for the body and the mind. They tune, right? They tune to what if we give 5 times, they'll start tuning to 5 times, right? If we give 2, 3 times, they'll tune to that. So it's doable. It's proper timing, proper quantity. And there are some tips by Ayurveda. Ideally, one should eat half filled with food, quarter water, quarter air. Chant the Prem Dhwani. Wow. Before rising to leave. That's also very, very. Now, in many places, someone may individually rise, but I've seen in yatras or where devotees are taking together, let's say you're sitting with your friend and it's kind of the same time, or you're sitting in a group in 5 people, and if the matters are not very pressing, and if it's good to wait a few minutes, then to just run. Oh, I need to go. If it's too far off, like you are about to wrap up and they just entered, then it's fine. You can say, Prabhu, can I take your permission? I need to leave, right? We can ask for their permission, Mataji or Prabhu, can I excuse myself? I need to go. But if it's just a matter of a few minutes, and we are not hurried, when there's no urgent matters, we can always wait a couple of minutes and just get up together. That's a good culture and increases bonding relationships, Vaishnava culture. Some devotees chant Haribol, somebody's chant Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, and then Jai Shri Prabhupada. So some Prema Dhwani, the prayers we can chant, or Bhagavad Prasad Ki Jai, something on those lines, Vrindavan Dham, Govardhan, based on the occasion also. It, Hmm. So one should wash hands without delay, rinse one's mouth at least 3 times, and finally wash. Wow, this is important. 3 times once, basically squish, because there are particles and there are, it's I don't know how many of maybe I don't know if I should even ask this. What's the culture of like how many times, like what do they recommend of like teeth cleansing here every 3 months, 4 months? What do they say in US?
Every
This
6 months.
was usually,
Every 6 months.
Six
yeah,
months?
Yes.
So 6 months? And how
yes,
much
Every
how much like one actually do? Like what do you personally do? Just curious.
6 monthly.
6 months? In
and if
every
you don't monthly, then they will basically after couple of years or after 1.5 years, 1 year, you have to go for a deep cleaning because normal cleaning will not work basically.
so everyone, all of you do that 6 month schedule?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Wow. Okay. Can everyone type in this? I'm just curious, like, what's your frequency? Like, I would be curious to see, am I the only one going in the wrong direction? I'm just curious to see how often all of you go for this.
So actually, the dentist, they give the appointment automatically 6 months. It is regular appointment they do.
Yeah, but in India, no one goes for this thing, right?
India is different from G. Most of my teeth actually pulled off at home by binding some uh, mm, like shuta, right? What do you call this? Thread,
Hmm.
and they pull it. So
In India?
back home when it's kid, teeth are falling or pain, so they tie it up and pull it all of a sudden.
Hmm.
That time, no dentist, nothing.
No, but still in India, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, even in like the metropolitans or major cities, it's not that people are used to going 6 months cleaning.
Krishna
Yep.
Prabhuji, here we pay insurance and insurance is free for those 2 visits.
Yes.
So doctors, dentists, basically, they send reminders and we use the insurance. We are paying the deductible and so forth, right? So it's
Yeah.
it's already
So
covered. 2 visits.
$1,500 per year. So not only cleaning those free and other
Minimum.
treatments also get
Yeah,
with some
India there's no insurance, so no free.
deductible or co-payment to be paid.
One reason, Prabhuji.
And are there any reasoning that it is unhealthy? There is some reasoning that cleaning is unhealthy and it leads to some wear of the teeth.
Yeah,
Also.
here sugars are more, right, Prabhuji, more easy to, sugars and acids are more here, like easy to access, even for kids' point of view also. So it's better we have it cleaned here. India is less access.
No. There are some people who are saying that this teeth cleaning is unhealthy. It will lead to faster wear of the teeth. Is there any?
I don't think so, Prabhuji.
Yeah, here the girls that they're actually trained for that. Some courses they go certified, so they know how much and how to do that. But definitely, too much cleaning might destroy the enamel.
Okay. We are on record, so I won't say what I am following, but I'll talk to you personally. So, but yeah, this point is very clear that one should rinse one's mouth 3 times. It's very important. Um, don't leave those sugar particles or that whatever particles, um, because that's how it's unhealthy, it's unclean. It's so wash hands, wash feet, wash mouth, and wash feet also. Do not rest or perform strenuous labor directly after a meal. They say to aid digestion, one can lie on the left side. Chaitanya also used to do that. So many devotees mentioned. So after lunch, sleep for a while or take a nap. After dinner, walk for a mile. So someone shared this. So if doable, if your work circumstances allow, so taking a light left side nap might help. Power nap. And after dinner, but not strenuous activities. Like suddenly you eat and then, okay, let me go gym, let me do yoga and this and that. That's not good. One should maintain it tranquil, so the mindset should be calm, peaceful, etc. And clean the area with water or the area, the mat, whatever, it should be clean. That pretty much covers the food section, prasadam, bhoga, offering, utensils. Oh my God, we covered a lot in the last 2 sessions. So any closing comments, thoughts, corrections?
Basically, what we're learning from this is actually part of our life when we were a kid, and we've been doing this because that time we didn't have that much complex life, but these simple things we used to do. But somehow life is getting more complicated, mechanized, more working hours, so we're slowly drifting away from the Vedic culture. But those are basics. Actually, we are born as a Vaishnava, but now becoming a Shudra.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. Following this artificial life, artificial means. So true. People would do datun earlier, right? Now they have sophisticated brushes and motorized brush and this and that, whatnot. But I don't think overall health is like we have more medicines, less health. We have more comfortable this what do you call mattresses, but less sleep, right? We have more gadgets, but less time for our family, dear ones. We have like we are driving at 100 miles per hour or 80, 70 miles per hour, right? But as Shampro was mentioning earlier, we had horse carriage. Did we ever hear one horse carriage collide with the other horse carriage and 20 people died? They don't collide. They don't run at 80 miles per hour. Recently, one family, Indian family in Atlanta, 6 of them, whole like 2, 3 generations, accident, all 6 on the spot, dead. So unfortunate. This recent, someone shared, you know, they were young kids, they were mid-age, and they were parents also, like 3 generations gone. And they're very respected. So we are, as Prabhu said, going far from the Vedic culture and causing more problems than good. And it's a choice we have made. So, but let's make the good choice of bhakti, simple living, high thinking, purity, sensitivity, honesty, and try our best to be Krishna conscious. Anything else? Anyone? Ms. Girish Prabhu, you unmuted. You want to share something? Okay, what is today? Today is Wednesday, right? Today is Wednesday. So Okay, so we'll have a session tomorrow, Friday. We have another program, so we'll skip, but tomorrow will be as usual. Okay. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyeva Tana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Very well.
Hare Bol.